Welcome folks to WWE 2K17 Universe Mode. My name is Kaisah Wrestling and we're giving you Monday Night Raw monumental main event as we have Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho teaming up to take on Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. What will happen in the fallout of last week's Monday Night Raw? Tune in tonight and see what we have going towards the Payback pay-per-view in 2 weeks. Well guys, Dean Ambrose is coming out here right now and you have to think he is not a happy man, as last week on Monday Night Raw, Roman Reigns came out and attacked Dean Ambrose. As we know, these two men will be facing off at the Payback pay-per-view in a monumental #1 contenders match. Winner will be facing either Rollins or Owens at Money in the Bank. A lot of people ask me, Dean Ambrose, what is on your mind? And honestly, my mind is in an emotional frenzy right now. Because last week, I got crossed by a man who I thought was my friend, by a man who I thought was my brother, Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns came out and attacked me right before my match against Kevin Owens. Now Roman, I know in 2 weeks time we're going to be facing off at the Payback pay-per-view, but if you're going to come out and disrespect me like that, then I'm sad to say, but you have made it personal. Friend, brother, or not, I'm not going to allow you to make a mockery out of me. You blatantly crossed the line last week on Raw, and I cannot forgive you for that. You cannot put your hands on me and then consider yourself to be my brother. So Roman Reigns, I just want you to know that when Payback comes, you're gonna have some hell to pay back, because I'm not gonna go easy on you, and I'm gonna make sure that you feel the amount of suffering that you made me feel last week on Monday Night Raw, crushing our friendship and crushing my trust in you. Well, here comes the big dog right now, and Roman Reigns looks absolutely ecstatic for the actions that he committed last week on Monday Night Raw. What has gotten into Roman Reigns? And Dean Ambrose is absolutely confused. He doesn't even know what to say. Roman Reigns just crushed the last bit of friendship that these two men had by attacking Ambrose last week, and a lot of us tried to get in the head of Roman Reigns and none of us could wrap around what happened. Dean, I want to let you know that it's nothing personal, but I am sick and tired of being the last member of the Shield that everybody thinks about. If you think about it, yourself and Seth Rollins have escalated in people's minds. People come here thinking of you and Rollins when they hear the Shield, but nobody ever thinks about the big dog. And I'm tired of being in last place. So if that's what I'm gonna have to do to get some attention, I will do it. Roman Reigns, you need to hear yourself right now. The Roman that I know will not be a man to try to please people. The Roman I know will not be a man to take the past and make it the future. I'm looking at a man that is broken, and I'm looking at a man that I don't know anymore. Last week, you completely changed on everybody, and you forgot your morals. So Roman, you're gonna have to pay for that at Payback. Ambrose, you know me better than anybody, and you know that I will go through anybody I have to go through to get a WWE Universal Championship shot. And the only way that I'm going to put my name on the map is if I win the WWE Universal Championship. So if I have to run through you, if I have to run through Seth, if I have to run through Kevin, I don't care who the champion is. I will get to that championship sooner or later. I cannot believe that you are so power hungry, Roman. I cannot believe that you have become such a greedy thief and a coward. Because if you wanted to make a name for yourself the right way, you would have waited to Payback, and you would have waited for me to see you face to face so we could have had a one-on-one match. But now you decided to attack me behind my back. and turn on our friendship just for your own personal gain, and I don't have respect for that. And that is just like you to not understand my point. It is just like you to only think of yourself. And that is the problem with all members of the Shield. Nobody has decided to care about the other man. And I'm sick of that. I'm sick of being the last one that people think about. And I'm not going to wait along for you and Seth to remember me. To remember I was the powerhouse of the team. For me to make a move. I will crush you at Payback. And I will continue to make a message for myself. Roman, I have nothing else to say to you right now. You have disappointed me to the utmost disappointment. Seth Rollins can't even stomach the thought of you right now. And if it wasn't for the fact that I have a match later on tonight against Jericho, I would beat the living daylights out of you right now and get my revenge. But because I still have a single ounce of respect for you, I'm not going to do that right now. Whatever, Ambrose, you can make all of your empty threats, you can say whatever you want, but the fact of the matter is when Payback comes, I'm going to be the man leaving with the victory, and you're not going to get that championship match. And I sure hope to God that Seth Rollins defeats Kevin Owens at Payback, just so I have an opportunity to show that I am the better Shield brother at Money in the Bank. So you're not even going to make it to Payback, and I will make sure that you lose. And Dean Ambrose having enough of Roman Reigns, as now I knew that this was going to happen, as this rivalry completely just goes off the hinge. And Roman Reigns attacking Dean Ambrose last week. He began his attack, but now they are face to face. Ambrose and Reigns going at it at the ring, and there goes a bulldog by Ambrose. And this is what I was afraid to see. I did not think that I would see the two Shield brothers go against each other, but this right here is what an opportunity at the WWE Universal Championship will do to a man as Roman Reigns continues the onslaught. And Roman said he is tired of being the Shield brother that everybody has forgotten about, and now he's gonna make Ambrose pay for his sins. So now Ambrose responding jawbreaker to Reigns. What a brawl we have going on right now. Roman Reigns with a Samoan drop, dropping down Ambrose. Dean Ambrose, I don't think this was a smart idea. He has a match later on tonight against Jericho, and now he's towing it with Roman Reigns. There goes a knee to the back. And now Ambrose getting the better of Reigns tonight. As now the referee having to push back Ambrose as Reigns gets back to his feet. We're going to have one hell of a match at Payback between these two. What a start to our Monday Night Raw already. And I cannot believe we just saw a throwdown between Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns. Wow, that was a very personal battle in the middle of the ring between those two. But right now we're coming to you with Finn Balor. As we remember, Finn Balor was in a 1-on-2 handicap match against Gallows and Anderson last week, but Finn Balor was not able to get the job done, as he was very impressive. He was able to hold off the club on his own, but just the numbers game was too much for Balor. As we know, Finn Balor will be challenging Kenny Omega at the Payback pay-per-view, and we've seen a lot of involvement of the club in all of Finn Balor's matches leading to that pay-per-view. So Finn Balor cannot wait to Payback and to hopefully turn the club away from him, as Balor, he's wanted to pursue a championship run, but with the fact of having Kenny Omega, Gallows and Anderson in his way, it's just not going to happen. Well, tonight Finn Balor has an opportunity to get some singles victories under his belt. He's going to be going one-on-one with the #1 contender for the United States Championship, Rusev. And we're about to explain how Rusev got that match. So now, Kurt Angle was able to take the title away from Rusev at the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. So General Manager Mick Foley thought it would be a good idea to give Rusev a championship rematch. But wait a minute. What is this? Rusev is coming out with the club. Look at this. This is exactly what I am talking about. The club's involvement in all of Finn Balor's matches. And now Gallows, Anderson, and Omega coming out with Rusev. This right here is going to be some bad news for Finn Balor. So, as I was saying, Rusev is going to have a last man standing match against Kurt Angle at the Payback pay-per-view in the pre-show for the United States Championship. Rusev demanding his rematch to General Manager Mick Foley, and he completely ran over Sami Zayn a couple of weeks ago on Raw. So Rusev is a very irritated man. So Finn Balor is going to be in for one hell of a match today, because not only does Rusev pose a threat to Balor's health, but so does the appearance of Gallows, Anderson, and Omega. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. So now Finn Balor is stuck on a 4-on-1 situation. So this may be even worse than last week's encounter. So now Rusev, of course, being confident as ever, as he has 3 giant men in his corner, is now Balor getting ready to face Rusev. He is not going to go down without a fight. If we learned anything about Finn Balor last week on Monday Night Raw, we learned that he is not going to give up. So now Rusev starting out against Balor with an arm wrench. And we haven't really heard too much from Kurt Angle about the rematch against Rusev, but you know that the Olympic gold medalist is ready at all times. Kurt Angle was thinking that maybe the Extreme Rules match would be his only match here in WWE, but after getting the victory over Rusev, Kurt Angle knows that he has to stay here on Raw and be a fighting champion, so Kurt Angle is going to do just that. As now Rusev with a fallaway slam to Balor, and speaking of Angle, here comes the United States Champion Kurt Angle. And that right there is exactly what I'm talking about. Kurt Angle is not afraid to get himself in the line of fire as he goes into the corner of Finn Balor to make sure that the odds are kind of even. I mean, the club has 3 men out there, and Balor only having Kurt Angle to support him. But now Kurt Angle is in the corner of Balor, so that way, if the club tries anything, the Olympic gold medalist will be the rebound. So that was an amazing match at the Extreme Rules pay-per-view between Rusev and Kurt Angle. And Kurt Angle, of course, getting the victory over Rusev by making him tap out with the ankle lock. So now we have the Olympic gold medalist as the United States champion. And now it kind of fits him because Kurt Angle's always sporting that red, white, and blue. So having that United States championship around his waist just makes so much sense. As Rusev responds with a suplex. As this Monday Night Raw has been so cutthroat, it is not even funny. We just started out with a Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns promo. We're going to see Ambrose in action a little bit later on tonight, as he said he will be teaming up with the Universal Champion Seth Rollins to take on the team of Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho last week saying that he is joining forces with Kevin Owens because he really wants Owens to win the championship at Payback. So we're going to see how that match pans out later on today. Yes. The Balor-Omega feud has been red hot lately. As we said, Balor was in a 1-on-2 handicap match against the club last week. He looked pretty good, not able to get the job done, but he was definitely able to deliver some damage to Gallows and Anderson. It was not an easy victory at all for the club. So now Finn Balor running off the top rope, and there goes an enziguri to the head of Rusev. Rusev is no slouch, though. You cannot forget about the dominant title reign that Rusev had. He was United States champion for at least 6 months before losing the championship to Kurt Angle. So now Rusev has Balor up. He's about to take him down with a tilt-a-whirl slam, as Omega and the club just cheering on Rusev. They will love nothing more than for Finn Balor to be in no condition to fight at Payback. So as we told you guys, Payback will be coming to you next Sunday. This Sunday we have the huge NXT TakeOver event that you guys definitely should not miss, as we're going to have NXT and 205 Live matches featured on that show. It's going to be one hell of a pay-per-view. So if you guys did not really pay attention to the minor shows leading to the NXT TakeOver, definitely check that out, as Rusev levels Balor with a super kick. Finn Balor needs to think twice about taking on these matches, because he may not be in any condition to face off against Omega at Payback if he continues facing Rusev and the club. But Balor's just such a fighting man. He continues to deliver the offense. And now Balor grabbing Rusev as he grabs him. Double underhook German suplex. Taking a page out of Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle cheering on Balor as much as he can. The United States champion trying to add some pressure to the club, trying to keep them at bay, as now Balor has Rusev up. We've seen this last week. He did this to Gallows, and there goes that drop kick into the corner. Rusev goes down, and now look at that. This is the club factor. Kenny Omega distracting Finn Balor, and there goes Rusev taking advantage, and Angle couldn't even watch. Rusev driving down Balor with that back suplex. Gallows and Anderson absolutely happy with what they're watching right now, as now Rusev has Balor locked in the accolade, and this is not looking good for Finn, and I think Finn Balor's foot was on the rope. Thank God for Finn Balor. Rusev was thinking about closing this match out, and look at Gallows and Anderson just glaring at Finn Balor in the ring. And now look at Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle now adding the distraction for Finn Balor, trying to play a little tit for tat with the club. Angle's not going to have Finn Balor lose that easily. So Payback is shaping up to be one hell of a pay-per-view, and there goes Rusev over the top rope. And now what's Balor got planned? And look at that tope con hilo. A tope con hilo from Finn Balor. And now he is also in the mercy of the club. Gallows and Anderson staring right at Balor, but they're not making any moves. They don't dare to make any moves, as now Balor tosses Rusev back into the ring. Will Balor have this victory? He needs to go for the cover on Rusev. Stomping to the back of the leg. This is the best I've seen of Finn Balor in this whole entire rivalry. Gallows and Anderson not psyching him out just yet, but Rusev, the strength, just taking down Balor. As now there goes the knee driven into the lower lumbar region of Finn Balor. This right here is not looking good for the Demon King. It's now Finn Balor able to move out of that submission hold just to get tossed down again by the Bulgarian brute Rusev. And now Rusev tossing Balor to the other side of the ring. And Angle is in absolute awe. As now Rusev just trying to get the crowd to see that he's so dominant, but Balor just doesn't stay down. Finn Balor continues to fight back, and this is why he's the former NXT champion. Sit down powerbomb by Balor. There goes an attempted pin, but no, Gallows now. Gallows to the ropes, distracting the referee. This is not going to be an easy victory for Balor at all. Gallows getting to the top rope. Before it was Kenny Omega making the distraction, but now Rusev with a head taking off clothesline. Decapitating clothesline by Rusev. As now there goes that abdominal stretch by the Bulgarian brute. As now Finn Balor is in a world of trouble. He's taking so much offense in this match. As now Balor trying to fight out of that elbows to the knees of Rusev. And now Kurt Angle seeing that Finn Balor has another day to fight. Attempted clubbing blow to the back of Rusev, but no, not right now. It's now Finn Balor trying to fend off Rusev, and now trying to get the crowd behind him, but Balor needs to stay in this match. And there goes a German suplex onto the Demon King. Finn Balor tossed around so many times in this match. Rusev looking very good, and now Rusev Alabama Slammer right there on Balor. That could be it. The former United States champion may be leaving Raw with the victory, and Finn Balor kicks out. Rusev thinking that he had that victory, but Finn Balor able to get the shoulder up. And now Rusev, you have to be thinking that he's going to be going for that accolade number 2. If he hits that, that'll be lights out for Finn Balor. Now Balor trying to fight back as much as he can, and then there goes an attempted elbow trying to lead to the elevator DDT, but not today. Balor is fighting though. He's doing everything he can to get this victory over Rusev. Back suplex by Balor. The club is in the corner of Rusev, hoping that Rusev delivers some more damage, if not enough. And now Balor goes for the cover on Rusev. Will this be enough? And no, a kick out by the Bulgarian brute. Kurt Angle really hoping that Balor leaves with a victory to try to psych out Rusev going into Payback. Last man standing match for the US title planned between these two. One-on-one encounter between Balor and Omega at Payback. There goes the drop kick, leveling down Rusev. Balor needs to go for the cover though, but he's not going to go yet. Finn Balor with the senton to the legs. Gallows trying to do a little dance on the side of the ring. We saw that this past week on SmackDown. Eric Rowan was doing a jump and a jive, but now it's Gallows, I guess, trying to compete with Rowan. Watch out, Rowan. Gallows trying to steal your dance title. It's now Balor picking up Rusev. What does he have planned here? Back into the corner goes Rusev, and now Balor has something planned. And now we saw this earlier on in the match. Balor gonna attempt that corner drop kick. Is now Angle watching, club watching. There goes the drop kick again to Rusev. Balor may have it. He needs to go for the cover, though. But Rusev, man, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Rusev with the wherewithal to counter Finn Balor. All Rusev needs to do is one more big move, and there goes the super kick to Finn Balor. That right there is going to be it. Rusev is going to leave with the victory today. And no! Finn Balor with another kick out. What a match here on Monday Night Raw. Finn Balor once again showing that he will fight at all costs. And this is not even the main event. We still have Owens, Jericho, Rollins, and Ambrose to come to you guys. What a show. Is now Finn Balor with a DDT to the ring. And Finn Balor trying to get the whole crowd behind him. The club sees that Rusev is in trouble. This is going to spell some bad news for Rusev. Balor is up to the rope, and we know what's coming next. Coup de grace on cue, no. Rusev moving out of the way, but Finn Balor able to dodge that right hand. And now Rusev trying to counter back, but no, Balor counters the kick. Is now Finn Balor now picking up Rusev, fireman's carry into the gut buster. Finn Balor really needs to get the cover on Rusev here tonight. Balor needs this win to get some momentum going into Payback. It's now Balor with a couple of elbows to the head of Rusev. Thinking that may have cut Rusev open, but no, not today. As Balor with an attempted cover. Will this be enough to keep Rusev down? And no, kick out again by Rusev. What a match so far on Monday Night Raw. Probably one of our biggest highlights besides the whole Ambrose and Reigns deal. Now Finn Balor trying to do something big right here, going to the top rope. Springboard, senton, no. It's Rusev moving out of the way. Finn Balor now may be at the mercy of Rusev, but no, Balor counters. And right there, that's a code breaker out of nowhere. But Gallows again adding the distraction. And this is right here the problem with having the club in the corner of Rusev, as now Finn Balor is taken down with a back suplex STO. Now Rusev again going for the accolade, and this right here may spell the end for Balor. Finn Balor was in this accolade before. Will Finn Balor tap out today to Rusev? And no, Finn Balor counters again. Kenny Omega cannot believe it. This is going to be the man that he has to face at Payback. Reverse DDT by Balor. Now he's running to the top. What does Finn Balor have planned? Rusev is in trouble, as now Finn Balor crossing the hands. Coup de grace cue. Rusev is in a world of trouble. The club now, and Gallows again making the distraction. Will this match ever end? Kurt Angle is getting absolutely frustrated. He wants Balor to put Rusev away. This match should have ended a while ago. Finn Balor with that coup de grace. An attempted drop kick there by Balor again, not able to get the job done. What an exchange it has been. The former U.S. champion not saying die today to Finn Balor. It's now Kurt Angle watching Balor jawbreaker there. Will the Demon King get back into it? No, and another right hand by Rusev. As now Rusev with double chops to the shoulders. And now Finn Balor again with the counter. I myself am getting very anxious in this match. Balor now, fireman's carry. Rusev in trouble. There goes the kick to the side of the head. Will this be enough to put Rusev away? And there goes an elbow by Finn Balor. Kurt Angle is cheering in the corner. Finn Balor needs to go for something big. Gallows, Anderson, and Omega still in the corner of Rusev, and there goes Balor with an attempted frog splash, but Rusev moving out of the way, and there goes a spinning roundhouse kick by Balor. Balor continuing the offense, as now Rusev is in a world of trouble. Balor picks up the nearly 300-pound man, drops him down. Elevator DDT by Balor. Will Finn Balor put Rusev away? As now Gallows, Anderson, Omega not getting involved. Balor leaves with the victory today on Monday Night Raw. Despite the interference from the club, Finn Balor able to leave Monday Night Raw with the W today. And you have to thank the United States Champion Kurt Angle for offering his hand and help today for Finn Balor. Because if it wasn't for Kurt Angle, there may have been many instances in this match where Rusev would have ended it, because the club just added too many distractions. Well, I guess with that elevator DDT, the club realized that either way Rusev was going down today, so there was no hope in bringing the Bulgarian Brute back in this match. What a battle we just witnessed between Finn Balor and Rusev, though. Right there was the distraction Kurt Angle made when Rusev made that cover on Balor. And there goes that tope con hilo, taking out Rusev. I thought he was going to take out the club as well. And the elevator DDT, dropping Rusev on the back of his neck. And that right there spelled the end for the Bulgarian Brute. Well, if that right there happens to Rusev at the Payback pay-per-view, Rusev will lose another opportunity at the U.S. title. But today, Finn Balor with the victory here on Monday Night Raw. Congratulations to the Demon King for picking up a victory. It is main event time here on Monday Night Raw, as we're going to have Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens coming out together. These are the best friends that we are talking about. The newfound friendship between Owens and Jericho. So last week, Chris Jericho pretty much coming out here saying that he joined forces with Kevin Owens to make sure that Owens becomes the Universal Champion. So I wonder how that's gonna affect Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose tonight. So I want to be the first one to apologize for the background and the entrance of these two, because I didn't really have time to work on them, and I kind of forgot that they would come out with a generic tag team intro. So I promised that I will work on that, maybe have them come in separately still, so that way it won't be so generic. So here comes Dean Ambrose, and we already know what's on the mind of Ambrose, because Dean Ambrose got into an altercation with Roman Reigns, his opponent at Payback, earlier on in the show, and it was very emotional. As you can see, Dean Ambrose is still very stern and still very pissed off about what happened. So, and don't forget that Ambrose and Chris Jericho still have some unsolved beef to settle today. So we're going to see how that affects Ambrose, Jericho, Owens, and Seth Rollins. Of course, Kevin Owens, the #1 contender for the Universal Championship. Now we're waiting for the arrival of the Universal Champion, the Architect, Seth Rollins. And yes, this is Seth Rollins' first time in action since the Extreme Rules pay-per-view, being victorious in that triple threat match against Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns. And Seth Rollins has been a very successful Universal Champion. And next Sunday at Payback pay-per-view, it's going to be Rollins versus Owens for that title that Rollins holds snug around his waist. And we have a big announcement for the main event of Raw next week, and we're going to be making that towards the middle of this match, because I feel that it's just so monumental. We have to tell you when the climax of this match is going to be a big showdown on Raw next week, as Universal Champion Seth Rollins is set for tag team action, teaming up with one of his former Shield brethren in Dean Ambrose to take on Jericho today, his #1 contender, and plus his new best friend. So now, of course, we've been talking about a lot of the personal rivalries going here on Monday Night Raw. We have Jericho teaming up with Owens, and we have the whole Finn Balor and Kenny Omega story. And now we have Kurt Angle taking on Rusev in a last man standing match. The card for Payback is absolutely phenomenal. So that pay-per-view is coming to you guys very soon. Of course, the first pay-per-view before Payback will be the NXT Takeover. So make sure you guys catch that, as I know we've talked about it many times before. But the main event is going to be the NXT Championship on the line, as Samoa Joe will be taking on the victor of the NXT Championship tournament, who we will find out the winner this coming NXT. So don't miss that episode. As we have Brian Kendrick taking on TJ Perkins for the Cruiserweight Championship. We have the NXT Tag Team titles on the line. So much in store for NXT TakeOver, so make sure you do not miss that, as now Kevin Owens is starting out this match with Dean Ambrose, the #1 contender for the Universal Championship. Kevin Owens has been very vocal ever since the conclusion of the Extreme Rules pay-per-view, and he's pretty much been saying that Seth Rollins cannot beat him one-on-one. And it's kind of hard to disagree with Owens, because Roman Reigns was the man who got pinned by Seth Rollins at Extreme Rules. So Roman Reigns has pretty much been saying that he wants to prove that he is not the inferior Shield brother, but he kind of failed that mission at the Extreme Rules pay-per-view because Seth Rollins pinned him smack in the middle of the ring. So now it is Kevin Owens just stomping into Dean Ambrose. As Dean Ambrose very emotional tonight. I know he has a roller coaster going on in his mind, and it's going to be very hard for Ambrose to focus on the task at hand, which is getting the victory in this tag team match. So now Kevin Owens, and right there was a nasty side suplex by KO. Kevin Owens has been so dominant lately, and Owens has a victory over Roman Reigns on week 1 of May going into Payback. So Roman Reigns is not coming into Payback with a lot of momentum, as he's been taking a lot of losses. Dean Ambrose, of course, getting the victory at Extreme Rules over Chris Jericho in a Falls Count Anywhere match. So that was a very good encounter, and plus right afterwards Ambrose also got a victory in a singles match against Jericho. So I'm gonna quickly start talking about the next pay-per-view, Money in the Bank. So I want to figure out if it will be a good idea to maybe do 2 Money in the Bank matches or just 1 cross-branded Money in the Bank match. Definitely leave some comments in the comment section to let us know what you would rather see. Would you rather see a Raw and a SmackDown Money in the Bank match separately or much together? So I know it's a little bit early to be talking about Money in the Bank, but I know we're 2 weeks away from the Payback pay-per-view, so I'm going to start doing a little bit of the creative writing for the Money in the Bank storyline. Of course, we're going to be having the winner of the Ambrose and Reigns match take on either Rollins or Owens at Money in the Bank for the Universal title. So that's going to be Raw's headline match. So now Chris Jericho gets the tag, as Seth Rollins has a personal vendetta against Chris Jericho, because if we remember, Jericho did cost Reigns the match a couple of weeks ago on Raw, and Seth Rollins pretty much said that if Jericho even thinks about doing that to him at Payback, he's going to have some hell to pay. So now the WWE Universal Champion kind of having an opportunity to get his hands on Y2J, but Chris Jericho with that elbow to the chest of Rollins, that's definitely not going to do good for the Universal Champion, as Ambrose, seeing the intensity of that clothesline Rollins just delivered, as he just respectively went down to the floor. So it's been a big night on Monday Night Raw for pretty much all the activity going on at Payback, as we seen Balor in action, we saw Rusev in action, the club get involved, Kurt Angle as well, we saw Roman Reigns earlier on today. So all the aspects of the Payback card are being touched, and next week we're going to be seeing the Women's Champion Charlotte in action, and we're going to also be seeing the New Day in a rematch against Gallows and Anderson. So that's going to be a huge match already scheduled for next week. So Gallows and Anderson will get a chance to maybe get a victory against the New Day and possibly get a future championship shot. We saw them get a championship shot at Extreme Rules in a failing effort. So now the New Day will be defending the titles against the Golden Truth at the Payback pay-per-view. So we'll see if Gallows and Anderson can get back on the horse. We know Kenny Omega scheduled for some big stuff is right there. Stereo DDT by Rollins and Ambrose, just dropping Y2J right on his head. So now I'm going to get to the big match that was scheduled for next week that I promised to let you guys know mid-match. Next week live on Monday Night Raw, it's going to be the Universal Champion Seth Rollins going one-on-one with Roman Reigns in a no-holds-barred match. That is right, no-holds-barred between the champion Rollins and Roman Reigns, to give you a little bit of a preview of what we can see at Money in the Bank if Roman Reigns is able to get the victory over Dean Ambrose. But that is our monumental main event scheduled for next week on Raw. So make sure you guys tune into Raw next week to see the Raw Women's Champion in action, to see the New Day in action, your Raw Tag Team Champions, as well as the Universal Champions Owens with a cannonball to Rollins in the corner. And this right here is a little bit of a personal rivalry we have going on between the challenger and the champion, as Kevin Owens with a pop-up power bomb in plan for Rollins and drops the Universal Champion right on the back of his head. Will Owens get the victory? No, Rollins kicks out. That right there, Kevin Owens is seeing the resiliency of the Universal Champion Rollins. Now can Rollins and Ambrose get back in this match? Seth Rollins taking a horrible bump from that pop-up powerbomb, as now Owens has Rollins up on his shoulders. And there goes that torture rack neck breaker devastating onto Rollins, sending a shockwave down your spine. Kevin Owens destroying the Universal Champion right now, and Chris Jericho just approving of the action as now Rollins trying to get himself back in here. Attempted kick there by Rollins, and Owens drops him down with the STO. Here goes a cover there by the #1 contender. Will KO get it done as Ambrose running in the ring, knowing the urgency of this match. Rollins already getting hit with that pop-up power bomb. That is not going to suit well for the Universal Champion. Is now Kevin Owens hanging outside the springboard rope. What is he going to do here? Is Rollins, and there goes a drop kick by Kevin Owens. A springboard drop kick. When was the last time you seen that from a man the size of Kevin Owens? That was absolutely amazing. As now here comes Rollins. There goes that bicycle drop kick. Spinning wheel kick by Rollins, and there goes a tag to Dean Ambrose. Well needed tag as the Universal Champion was taking one hell of a beating from Kevin Owens. It's now Ambrose back in this match. As now I don't know how smart of an idea it was to tag in Ambrose, but even though Dean Ambrose is a little bit of a wreck, he's getting what he has to get done. He's definitely delivering the violence to Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho today. Now there goes a boot to the face as he had Owens in the Tree of Woe. Ambrose now attempting a pinfall on Kevin Owens. Will this be enough to put KO away? And no. Ambrose doing the best he can to get this match done as fast as possible. Well, speaking of the Reigns and Ambrose rivalry, Roman Reigns is going to have to make sure that he doesn't get injured in that no-holds-barred match next week against Seth Rollins. So I guess Seth Rollins may have took a little bit of offense to what Roman Reigns said earlier on about how he just doesn't give a crap about his Shield brethren anymore. He just wants to win championships and wants to make a name for himself. So definitely a side of Roman Reigns that we have not seen before. So I wonder what's going to happen when Reigns and Ambrose toe it off at Payback. It's going to be one hell of a match. And now Owens taking down Ambrose, and I think Owens is going to make the tag to Chris Jericho. So Owens trying to get the crowd pumped up behind him, but people don't really like Kevin Owens, as we've made it clear many times in our Universe Mode episodes. Kevin Owens is not a popular man around these parts, so I don't think these fans are going to get behind Kevin Owens at all. So now there goes KO as he's going to do that package neck breaker and drives the knee right to the back of the head of Dean Ambrose. That right there was an ugly fall for the Lunatic Fringe. It's now Kevin Owens looking very good in this match against Ambrose. And now Samoan drop there by Kevin Owens. It's now Kevin Owens measuring Ambrose. Will this be the second pop-up powerbomb we see in this match? If he drops Ambrose now, that's going to be a loss for Rollins and Ambrose. Owens dropping Ambrose right on his head. Seth Rollins not even running in. And Ambrose kicks out of that. Kevin Owens is absolutely frustrated. He thought he had Dean Ambrose there, but it's going to take a lot more than that to take out the Lunatic Fringe tonight on Raw. As now here comes Ambrose trying to get back into this match, trying to shake off the demons in his head. As now there goes running off the top rope. Here comes Ambrose, full throttle with that clothesline, followed by the Bulldog out of the corner. Ambrose looking very good right now, stomping Owens. And we have another one coming right to the chest. It's Dean Ambrose trying to come back from a beatdown that he suffered so hard. That pop-up powerbomb is one hell of a bump to suffer. And now Ambrose responds with a punch to the gut as Jericho is distracted by the fans. As now there goes Ambrose, Bulldog to the corner, right into the corner of Rollins. Seth Rollins now trying to cheer on his former Shield brother. As now Kevin Owens tripping Ambrose on the back of his leg. Jericho very impressive in this main event tag team match. So now Kevin Owens about to toss, and there goes a neck breaker. Actually, that was a cutter, a catching cutter, as right now Seth Rollins getting hit by Owens and Ambrose kicking out of that. That right there was one hell of a tag team maneuver by Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho. As Jericho just relaxing on the tight ropes, knowing that he has some time to chill. But now Ambrose bringing the pressure right back onto Y2J. Is now Ambrose trying to get the crowd pumped. He needs to deliver that dirty deeds and put Jericho away just like he has in the past. Ambrose stomping on Jericho, and now we all know what's coming next. Jericho will be in some serious trouble if he doesn't dodge that, but he does. Dirty D's planned for Chris Jericho, and Jericho saying not today. Side suplex there on Ambrose. The leg of Ambrose getting caught on that rope as well as Kevin Owens showing the wariness of this match. And now Jericho going for that code breaker, but not able to hit it. And this time he did, busting open Ambrose. Will this be enough to put the lunatic fringe away? But no, Jericho doesn't go for the cover. Dean Ambrose is bleeding from the head though. Dean Ambrose is in some bad shape right now. He needs to get back into this match and stop worrying about Roman Reigns. And there goes a spinning kick to Ambrose. Dean Ambrose is in desperate need to make that tag to Seth Rollins. I don't know where Chris Jericho is planning on going, just walking to the side of the ring as Ambrose trying to shake off the cobwebs. But Jericho just continues to bring the pressure to the lunatic fringe. As now Jericho with an attempted scoop slam, and Ambrose responds with a neckbreaker. Kevin Owens still very tired on his side of the ring. As now here goes Ambrose with a cover on Jericho. Will this be enough to put Jericho away today? And no, Jericho kicking out at 1. That right there is a confidence killer, knowing that you have blood on your face and your opponent just kicked out at 1. It's Ambrose trying to deliver elbows to Jericho, trying to get back into this match, and smart tagging in the Universal Champion. With Seth Rollins taking that pop-up powerbomb earlier on from Kevin Owens. I don't know if Seth Rollins is 100% right now. Rollins did have a lot of time to recover on the side of the ring as Ambrose took the brunt of that attack from Jericho. As now Rollins may have a plan for Jericho. Amazing main event we have for you tonight on Monday Night Raw. Rollins with a superplex on Jericho, and no, not letting go, follows by Falcon Arrow by the Universal Champion. Well, normally Rollins goes for the cover after that, but he knows he's going to have to deliver some more damage to Chris Jericho in order to get the victory tonight. As now, I think Rollins was planning to deliver a turnbuckle powerbomb, and Rollins countered with a neck breaker. I thought Jericho delivered that neck breaker. What a move by the Universal Champion as Ambrose running in to maybe create a distraction for Owens, but Owens not even running in. He knows Chris Jericho has this. This right here is the trustworthiness between Jericho and Owens, and that right there busts open Chris Jericho. Now Owens a little bit uneasy. As there goes a spinning moonsault by Rollins. As you saw the concern on the face of Owens after that face buster by Rollins. As Jericho now is bleeding like a stuffed pig. As now Jericho taking on Rollins. Jericho trying to use the blood on his forehead to drive him to do a little bit better in this match. As they have been dominating the former Shield members. Looking very good as now Jericho picking up Rollins, and there goes a power bomb into the bridge. Jackknife covered by Jericho. Will this be enough? And now Rollins kicks out at 2.5. Jericho almost getting it right there for his team. As now Jericho looking for the walls on the Universal Champion. This is not looking good for Rollins and Ambrose. And now Rollins in the walls of Jericho. Ambrose now. And Rollins able to power out of that. Kevin Owens attempting to knock Ambrose off the ring, and there goes a code breaker. The code breaker on Rollins. Will Jericho be able to capitalize on that code breaker? Rollins is down and out. Jericho dragging him to the middle of the ring, and we know what's coming now. Jericho pinning Rollins, but no. Seth Rollins kicking out at 1.5. What a match on Monday Night Raw. The action is absolutely red hot. Kevin Owens trying to recover. Owens hasn't been in this match for a long time though. So now Rollins just stomping on the midsection of Chris Jericho. Either Rollins or Dean Ambrose needs to deliver something big here. Now Rollins may be thinking pedigree. If he drives Jericho to the ring with this pedigree, this may be the end for Jericho tonight. Pedigree on Chris Jericho. Will this be enough? Ambrose needs to get in the ring to stop Owens. There goes the cover by Seth Rollins on Chris Jericho. Jericho in trouble, and Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose leaving with the victory tonight. What a victory for for Rollins and Ambrose. Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens coming so close to putting an end to the former members of the Shield. This was an amazing match between Ambrose, Rollins, Jericho, and Owens. What a tag team match. Is Ambrose and Rollins able to gain some momentum going into their match? Kevin Owens, not so much. I mean, he lost this tag team match today, but he also did defeat Roman Reigns one-on-one, so you got to give it to Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens delivering some devastating maneuvers. Both members of the Shield suffered a pop-up powerbomb at the hands of KO, but both also suffered a code breaker. So this right here was one hell of a finisher fest. on Monday Night Raw. That right there was the pedigree that put Chris Jericho away, and also will be capping off this third week of Monday Night Raw heading into Payback, as Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins looking very good in this match. Will Seth Rollins be able to successfully defend the Universal Championship against Kevin Owens, and will he be able to defeat Roman Reigns in a no-holds-barred match? We will find out next week on Monday Night Raw. Take care, guys. Like and subscribe. Guys, look at this. Look at this. Roman Reigns attacking Dean Ambrose. This right here is exactly what I was afraid of. We have officially witnessed the breakup of a friendship. Roman Reigns absolutely assaulting Dean Ambrose after that match against Jericho. Is now Ambrose trying his best to fight back, but Roman Reigns, and now there goes Ambrose tossing Reigns into the supplies there, and now Reigns leveling down Ambrose. This is gonna be one hell of a fight at Payback, as Roman Reigns is just destroying Ambrose, and now Ambrose driving Reigns into the floor with a DDT. As Roman Reigns told Ambrose earlier, he's going to do everything he's going to have to do to get the one-up on Ambrose at Payback. It's now Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose just going at it. One hell of a match we're witnessing right now between the two. And it's going to be even worse at Payback, when the #1 contendership's on the line. Is now Ambrose responding with one hell of an attack on Reigns. Is now Roman Reigns responding with an elbow to the face and driving Ambrose down with another clothesline. What the hell is going on between these two men? As Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose has completely forgot about their friendship, as now Roman Reigns takes down Ambrose with a modified powerbomb in the back. That trash can is no more. Look at how crushed that is. These two men are literally just beating the tar out of each other. Now Ambrose tossed into the locker room. This is going to be bad news for Dean Ambrose, as Roman Reigns with the complete control on Ambrose. Ambrose was in that grueling main event match in a Superman punch, dropping down Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose in a world of trouble, getting tossed into that table. Is now Dean Ambrose trying his best to fight back, but the big dog delivering so much domination to Ambrose. It's now Dean Ambrose now with an elbow to the eye of Reigns, trying to create some separation. There goes a clothesline by Ambrose. As now will Ambrose deliver that dirty deeds, and now tossing Reigns right into that Titantron. Is now Ambrose looking at Reigns' dazed body. I can't believe these two are completely going off the rip. This is going to be one hell of a match at Payback. It's now Dean Ambrose just waiting for Roman Reigns to make a move. But Reigns is dazed. He's feeling the effects of Dean Ambrose right now. And now look at this. Look at Dean Ambrose. What does he have planned here? Is he's about to drive Reigns right through the Titantron. Oh my God, Dean Ambrose driving Roman Reigns spine first through that Titantron. This is one hell of a brawl. Somebody needs to stop these two men from completely tearing each other up. They may not even make it to Payback. So now Dean Ambrose just continues the assault on Roman Reigns. As now he grabs that briefcase. As now Reigns responds. And there goes a shot to Dean Ambrose. And a clothesline to the back of the neck. So now Roman Reigns grabbing that steel chair. He has some bad intentions now. And a shot to Ambrose. It's now Roman Reigns just beating the life out of the lunatic fringe. And these men are former friends. And now Dean Ambrose taking a chair to the gut. Roman Reigns absolutely relentless on this attack on Ambrose. So now Dean Ambrose feeling the effects in his back. The lower spine of Ambrose is taking so much domination, and into the cubby goes Dean Ambrose. And now look at this. What is Roman Reigns going to do here? Picking up Ambrose. Oh no, no, no. Power bomb into the cubby, and Ambrose is down. Roman Reigns is destroying Dean Ambrose.